Greetings, everyone. This is Jeff Wilkerson, Professor of Physics at Luther College, bringing you the next in our series of what to look for in the night sky. We're talking about the week of September 1st. This time around, we've made it to meteorological fall, so we got good fall skies up above. A lot of stuff to talk about. Let's jump right into it. It is a little bit of a moon interference week. It starts out okay. On the evening of the 1st into the morning of the 2nd, the moon is 2/3 full. And so what that means is it will set early enough that if you want to observe some deep sky objects in the morning sky, you've got a chance to do that. It's right on the Sagittarius-Scorpius border at this time, very near the direction of the center of our galaxy. So go out on September 1st, enjoy the 2/3 full moon, and know that you've got your back turned to the outer edge of the galaxy and you're looking right at the direction of the center of the galaxy there. On the evening of the 5th to the 6th, it's essentially full. A little bit less than full at that point, and it sits near, very, very near Nashira and Deneb Algedi, the two stars that we talk about all the time in the tail of Capricornus, because the planets and the moon move right by here because they're right on the ecliptic, right on the path of the sun through the sky, the flattened plane of the Earth's orbit. So go out, you see if you can see these stars with the big bright full moon trying to obscure them. Binoculars will help you out to see the two dots of light right there. What we have here, some things that other things we can look at is to say we were tracking Neptune and Saturn more or less straight up and down north-south. We've been looking. Now Saturn has been tracking off away from Neptune, and so Saturn is in retrograde motion. It's moving west against the background stars. It moves faster than Neptune, and it's moving this way, pulling away from it. And it sits near a few stars that are kind of interesting. Two of them we'll talk about. It sits near 27 Piscium, just down south and to the west of Saturn. 29 Piscium is almost straight south. But there's a fainter star just barely below Saturn here. We've got this fainter star. That fainter star is BU Piscium, sometimes it's called. And it's about 27 Piscium we'll talk about as a 5th magnitude star. You can see that with your naked eye before the moon, after the moon has set maybe. Otherwise use binoculars to see it. You've got 7th magnitude. BU Piscium is not nearly as visible. They're both interesting stars. 27 Piscium is a binary star, and it has a 695-year period, and it has a 3.7 arc-second semi-major axis, which means you might expect to be able to separate those stars, but has a very high eccentricity of orbit. So that means the orbit is really flattened like this, and you'll see one of the stars here, and sometimes you'll see the other star very close to it and very far away from it, and we're pretty close to it right now. So there's only about 1 arc-second of separation between these stars, and the companion's faint at 8.9th magnitude, making this an extraordinarily challenging object. My guess is you're not going to be able to, don't even try to separate that out. Likewise, we have the faint star here, the 7th magnitude BU Piscium, is an interesting star because it's a Gamma Doradus variable star. These are stars that have little short oscillations, small oscillations on the surface. So the surface is oscillating of these stars, causing the brightness to flicker up and down, and it does so in a very, very short period. It's only an 8-hour period. So if you take pictures of this region of the sky, you might reasonably expect to start and take 4 hours or 5 hours of pictures here with Saturn right in the view. You might reasonably expect to see the star getting brighter and dimmer. The problem is the star at most changes its brightness by about 10%. But a lot of times these fluctuations are smaller because it's really a multi-periodic star. In addition to 8 hours, it's got other periods of oscillation that are going on that are interfering with each other. And sometimes you see bigger changes in brightness and sometimes you see fainter. Go ahead and give it a shot. Why not make that your project for the week, to go out and see if you can see the brightness changes right there? My guess is, again, it's going to be really challenging, and you're probably not going to see that. Gamma Doradus stars are like Delta Scuti stars we've talked about sometimes before. Also very short periods, also often multi-periodic, also involving surface oscillations of the stars. They just have a different mode of oscillation. We don't have time right now to talk about what that means. G mode versus P mode for the Delta Scuti stars. We have the Gamma Doradus stars here and the way they're oscillating. We can maybe talk more about that some other time, but let's get on to looking at the morning sky here. Big and bright in the morning sky. I've had some clear mornings. this week as I've been observing, and it's been really enjoying watching Venus, and Jupiter sits right next to Wasat. We talked about that last week. Jupiter was closing on Wasat. This week it's going to pass it, and it's going to get within 10 arc seconds. I mean, right on top of it. So enjoy that view. Use your binoculars and watch Jupiter right next to the star in Gemini, one of the legs of Gemini, 3.5 magnitude Wasat. Now, Wasat sits almost directly between El-Nath, the bright star in the end of the top of the V of Taurus, and Venus down here. So we've got Venus, Jupiter, El-Nath. And if we look at the Jupiter-Wasat region right here, what we see, well, let's actually do Venus first. Venus is tracking east, prograde motion, east against the background stars, and it splits. It starts the week very near the Beehive cluster, M44 in Cancer, and it splits between that and M67 as it moves off this direction. Dark enough in the morning, 4 o'clock or 4:30 in the morning is a great time to get out and observe this. Venus is up. You can see it. It's still dark. Use your binoculars and find these two great open star clusters that Venus pierces, the line separating them. Now, let's look at this region around Wasat and Jupiter. And what we see when we look in there is if you drop down about 2.5 degrees below Wasat and Jupiter, but really Wasat right here, about 2.5 degrees, more or less south, maybe a little bit southwest, you have NGC 2392. This is a beautiful planetary nebula. You can actually see it with your binoculars, but it's hard to tell it's a planetary nebula. It looks like a little star, but it's sometimes called the Clown Face Nebula. It's sometimes called the Lion Nebula. It has a lot of names that it goes by. If you observe it in the eyepiece, what you can see relatively easily is this 15 arc second core. So it's got a core that's brighter, and then it's got a hazier outer layer around it. The hazier outer layer stretches out 50 or 60 arc seconds, 4 times bigger than what the core is. So it's got this brighter inner core and this more delicate outer shell. Remember, planetary nebula is a star that has blown off. It's a low mass star that's blown off its envelope, its outer shell that's expanding out into space. And so you can see this, and you can start to see this outer shell 6 or 8 inch. You have a 10 or 12 inch telescope, you could really start to make this out. And this is actually an impressive object in your eyepiece. If you're taking pictures of the sky, you've got a smart telescope, you point it out there, you're taking pictures of the sky, that's probably the object you want to try for of all the things we're talking about this week. I think that's great. Go out and give that a shot. A beautiful planetary nebula. Now, closer to Wasat, up the other direction near Wasat, only within 3/4 of a degree, so much closer, you've got NGC 2365. This is a galaxy, and this is a real challenge object to try to find. So that's your real challenge object of the week. Is go out and see if you can find galaxy NGC 2365. Take pictures of this region. Taking pictures of the region will help you. It's a little bit easier because you can get Wasat in the field of view and shift Wasat over so it's just it's just on the west edge of the field of view a little bit, over toward the west edge, and you should be able to have NGC 2365 in there. But it's a faint object, and it's going to be a little bit hard to pick out and a little bit hard to see. There are actually a couple of even fainter galaxies right there nearby it, but let's stick with this for right now. See if you can find that galaxy. We've got a galaxy, we've got a great planetary nebula, we've got a couple of beautiful open star clusters, we got planets, we got binary stars, we got a variable star, we got the moon interacting with stars nearby. What more could we ask for in a week? This is going to be a great week. I hope that you have a chance to get outside and do some observing. As always, thanks for watching, everybody, and have a great week ahead.